Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. And as always, I'm glad that you are here and working on the connection with yourself. And a lot of this connection work that we do with ourselves involves a lot of tapping into our feelings. So keep that in mind, because in this episode, we are going to be exploring feeling judged. And it's important to understand what happens to us when we feel judged. It discourages us, it brings us shame, it makes us doubt ourselves, and it basically puts us on eggshells because we don't share the honest pockets of our identity. So to help diminish these consequences, we're going to explore some common judgment type scenarios that you can become aware of, and therefore prepare yourself to process judgments and hopefully become more at peace with the person that you are. And I know that some of you can't imagine being at peace within yourself, and that's normal, but you can. People do. It's a process, and it's certainly a journey, and it is possible with commitment to yourself to address the clutter thoughts that keep you from focusing on the person that you want to become. So for those of you new here, my name is Lee, and I guide others in the transition from past harming patterns. And that can mean recovery from addiction, which is what brought me here, or it can mean recovery from shoplifting or being in a toxic relationship. So there is something here for everyone. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get weekly reminders of guidance on how you can navigate your challenges and tap into your inspirations as well. I also wanted to mention that in the links below, or in the description, I have links rather for resources on this topic and other resources for areas of interest. And as always, please do share your thoughts, your comments, any questions you have. And if you're too shy to share here, be sure that you at least share with yourself and talk to yourself about the things that you are discovering about yourself. So I'm going to break down some scenarios of feeling judged and some patterns that we can find ourselves within, and throw in some self-discovery questions that we can ask ourselves to help transition away from feeling judged. And I first want to give you some pointers that will help ease your approach into this. So right out of the gate here, you need to accept that feeling judged is all about you. And that's tough when you're upset by someone else's words of judging you. So I want you to think about this. You are the one at the receiving end of those words. You are the one that's not feeling good enough. And you are the one that takes these judgments and redirects your actions and your plans and your decisions based on the feeling of being judged. And I know that this likely makes sense for you, but typically in self-discovery, it's easier said than done. So be sure to keep with this guidance and accept that judgments are all you, and know that this is your entry point into taking charge and creating change. Another thing that will help you process judgments is to affirm that your feelings of being judged are all opportunities into valuable self-discovery. And I seriously do mean value. So like any obstacle, you should be asking yourself, what can I learn? What can I work on to create ease within my life from these types of situations? So when feeling judged and believe that you're being judged, you need to look at two key areas. And one is you need to look at your environment and what are the circumstances that you are feeling judged, and perhaps more specifically, who is judging you and how often and to what extent. Because it is important in the assessment process of yourself to know that there can be a fine line between being judged and being disrespected, or being put down, or being questioned. So use this as an opportunity to think about what perhaps needs to change. Either something about yourself or within your circumstances, or maybe both. And secondly, in addition to looking outwards when feeling judged, as well, look within. Because often when we feel judged, those words are hitting a nerve with our insecurities and hitting a nerve with our doubts and the areas that we typically don't like about ourselves. So to help drive that point home, pick something that you shine at and think about someone judging you and how you conduct yourself within that situation. You typically don't really care what they say. You don't feel the impact of their words. You may yourself have comeback thoughts and words to that person, but you don't feel put off. And the reason being is because you're confident and you know what's what within that situation. So now let's turn the tables, and let's say someone tells you, for example, that you never fully complete a project. So after getting offended and becoming defensive and feeling hurt, which are all a bit of a heads up, by the way, instead of staying in that headspace, shift your focus, and as always in these self-guidance practices, put the questions to yourself. Ask, why do I feel so angry? What does it mean for me if this person thinks that I don't finish my projects? Do I finish my projects? So for example, these types of questions. And the point here is to actively tap into your sensitive areas of judgments and ask, why does that impact me? And how would my life improve if I were to work on this? Have I noticed this can interfere with my functioning? So it's the type of questions like that. And be sure to work your finesse into those questions. And seriously, I want you to think about this. These are wonderful areas of awareness and honesty with yourself. And you may find among this that some judgments can shift from judgments and into observations, specifically meaning your observations. Another reason it is so important to take charge of feeling judged is based on our great abilities to take feelings and actions from situations of being judged and completely spin them out of control. And they go from becoming someone else's words to becoming our breach in the connection to ourselves and the eroding of our progress. And it turns into the negative self-talk and the doubts and the fears and the suspicions. So be careful and be active in bringing ease to your life, because something that wasn't even intended as a judgment could lead to a very bad day for you. And you don't want to confuse the connection that you are working so hard to cultivate with yourself. And the next one is a bit of a combat type scenario. And for this one, you need to remind yourself that feeling judged is all about you, and therefore you are in control. So when feeling judged by others, make a habit to immediately turn the tables and judge your own self with compassion. And that is the practice here, literally, taking the words from others and exchanging them with kind and accurate words for yourself. And be fair and look around your surroundings and look at your accomplishments and point to them and list positive attributes for yourself. And for those of you that were judged heavily and sadly as children, so perhaps being told by a parent or a teacher or a sibling that you weren't good enough, or you need to be stronger, or you're not smart enough, this approach to replace judgment with compassion is very key to break the pattern of not feeling that you aren't enough. Feeling judged can be deeply rooted in our past. So it's important to take effort and time to shift away from that, and to be patient, and to be consistent. And for those in fear of being judged because of the bad feelings it triggers, make it a plan to wake up each day with positive affirmations for yourself, and carry these with you throughout the day, and make them become a part of your plan to ease the pain of feeling judged. Another thing to do when feeling judged is to take time to analyze the core feelings of sad, mad, scared, and glad. And this helps you navigate these emotions that come along with feeling judged. So in the case such as above, if you are triggered by childhood situations, you may feel quite sad. Or in another situation, in bringing it more to the immediate present, you may be mad by feeling mistreated and unusually judged, or being the brunt of someone who is taking their shortcomings out on you. Or perhaps you are scared of being harassed because of who you are, or you're scared if you share certain principal beliefs that you will be shunned or lose social standing or lose professional standing. So tapping into these core feelings of mad, sad, and scared can really give you insights into the source of the judgment you are feeling, and allow you to dig a bit deeper into these judgments that could have consequences that you may need to prepare yourself for. And either that could be with counseling, or making boundaries for yourself, or preparing yourself for a change in lifestyle. And this leaves us with the core feeling of glad. And yes, we tend to discuss the happy places the last, typically in self-guidance therapies. So always bear this one in mind. It's typical, or it's similar to when someone is raining on your parade. And I mean, they are cutting you down because you are in a good place. So in these situations, try to take some time to learn about you and how you deal with this, and how you confront the person, or if you walk away. And ask yourself, when was the last time you acted similar to others? Or perhaps take time to be grateful for your good situation. So it's things like that, where you keep asking and keep answering the best and most honest that you can. And that's it for now. So please let me know what you think. If you have anything to add to this, if you agree that judgment is within your control. And in the links below, I have a worksheet of 20 questions that you can ask yourself when feeling judged. I also have a guide to negative self-talk and a video in the channel here as well. So make this a part of your morning affirmations. Judgment ends with me. And see how your perspective shifts over the course of a week. And let me know here or in my website, recoverywithlee.com. The link is below. And you can visit me as well on Facebook and Instagram, both Recovery with Lee. And commit to learning about feeling judged, and commit to bring ease to your life. So in the meantime, take care and see you soon.